Hey, thanks for watching Numbskull News. And today I'm talking about the Pac-12. It's going to be rebuilt. I've made up my mind. There's new information out there. And yes, I've done a little digging, done a little research. Holy crap, Numbskull News is doing a little research. And from everything that I see, yes, I think everything lines up that this is actually going to happen. I had my doubts, but I don't doubt anymore. First of all, let's give Oregon State and Washington State a ton of props for everything they've gotten done. I mean, they won their lawsuit. They got all their crap. They got the Pac-12 network. They got the assets. They got all their football scheduling figured out. They got their basketball scheduling figured out, putting that with the WCC, the West Coast Conference, along with their Olympic sports. So they got everything figured out. Holy crap. And now they have a new commissioner who did something George freaking Kliavkoff couldn't do, and that is get a media deal. Now, look, it's not big money. It's $7 million a year per team, which is Oregon State and Washington State. It's only two. However, this is unbundled. It's football only. It's not basketball. It's not Olympic sports. It's not baseball. It's nothing else except for just football games. That's it. Outstanding. They got a deal done with the CW and with Fox. They'll have two of their games on Fox. They already got announced. I believe it's the Oregon State versus Oregon game, and then Washington State versus Texas Tech game. Those are going to be on some Fox channel, FS2 or Fox, main Fox. Everything else is going to be on the CW. And for whatever reason, I keep forgetting that they actually got the Pac-12 network and, everything in there. So they're going to produce all the games for the CW, which is outstanding. And before you poo-poo the $7 million a piece, like I said, it's only for football, which matches the top group of 5 conference, which is the American. They make the most money at $7 million a school, but that's everything bundled. All right, with Oregon State and Washington State, only football. And keep in mind, the Mountain West, they only get $4 million per team for everything, for all of their sports. So now, what are they going to do? They're going to target 6 Mountain West schools to come over, to get to 8, to be a recognized conference by the NCAA. Remember, they got that 2-year grace period. After that, they got to get back up to 8, and they're going to be able to do it with Mountain West schools. Keep in mind, the Mountain West media deal is up in 2026. They only make $4 million per school. So let's take a look at what that 8-team new Pac-12 conference would look like. Of course, you got Washington State, you got Oregon State, but you got San Diego State right here. Now, remember, San Diego State, they damn near got into the Pac before, when it was the full Pac. When everyone thought the Pac-12 was going to survive, just add San Diego State, get Southern California, and it didn't happen. Will they go to this new Pac for, right now we're only calling it $7 million, but it's going to be more than that. Yes. Yes, they will go. And if they go after the media deal of the Mountain West is up, there is no buyout. No penalties, no nothing. They walk for free. Same thing with Boise State. All right, now, don't think Boise State is in love with the Mountain West. They are not. Under the old Mountain West contract, Boise State was allowed to go and make a deal with ESPN for home games. So they had like 31 home games shown on ESPN from, I think it was somewhere between the years 2013 and 2020. That was a crap ton of exposure for Boise State. It really helped them build their brand, extra money, all of that. And all of that with the new Mountain West contract got ixnayed, and they were pissed about it. So yes, they will walk very quickly. Actually, they will run to this new Pac-12 deal. Fresno State, they were trying like hell. Big 12, Pac-12, somewhere. They were advertising, billboards. Get us the hell out of the Mountain West. And when those three go, those are the three biggest brands of the Mountain West. And when they go, if you ask UNLV, they'll go. Colorado State, they'll go. More than likely, Air Force will go. And combined, those are the six biggest brands left in the Pac-12, and they will flee. They will run into the open arms of Washington State and Oregon State. Now, remember I said that all of that would be worth more than $7 million per team, because that right there, that new conference, that 8-team conference, you would bundle the hell out of everything. All right, that includes the basketball, that includes baseball, tennis, hockey, whatever the hell they play, everything. Olympic sports, the whole nine. Can they get to $12 million per team with that? I think they can. I think they can. Late night windows, the whole nine. You don't have schools like Hawaii dragging you down, and I'm sorry. They kind of do. Wyoming kind of drags you down. I'm sorry. They just do. You need just the top brands out of there going to this new pack. And that pack, although 11, 12 million, maybe a little bit more, that's about the ceiling for it. That's still that's triple what Mountain West schools are currently making. Yeah, they'll trade up for that in a second. But wait, the fun doesn't stop there. Because as we all know, the ACC is going to blow up. It will. ESPN's going to pull out of that bitch 2027. And you know what? There's a couple West Coast schools that would look good in this new ensemble and can bring some additional value. That's right, people. I'm talking Stanford and Cal. Stanford and Cal. If the ACC implodes, people, and they lose somewhere between 4 to 6 schools to the Big 12, well, you know the SEC is going to get a school or two out of there. So's the Big 10. That's a crap ton of the conference gone. If you're Stanford and Cal, you're making jack shit money now in the ACC with insane travel. Why not go back to the West Coast? Way easier travel. And you're going to a conference that's going to be making $12 million per. That's about what Stanford and Cal are making right now. And if this new Pac-12 can constitute these 8 schools right here and work out a new TV deal, you would want an escalator provision in that. If you could add 2 more power schools, then the money can escalate up depending on who you add. Stanford, Cal, Bay Area, huge market. Yeah, maybe this is what I'm predicting. Quite possibly 15 million per school. And I know you're thinking Stanford and Cal, no one wants them anyway. Look, those are still big academic brands. They still have some cachet in the world. They do, like it or not. And it is 15 million a shit ton per school. It is 15 million for Stanford and Cal to get your whether it's Fox or CW, whoever, to get them into the Bay Area. That's not a bad deal at all. That gives you 4 California schools. Last time I checked, that's still the most populated state in the union. It will be overtaken by Texas in the next 5 to 10 years, but we're not there yet. Even when that happens, it's still a huge freaking state with a huge population. If I'm Oregon and Washington, I'm adding 6, and I'm going to hold off after I add those 6, and I'm going to try like hell to get Stanford and Cal back over here to us, because they do more for us than they do an ACC that's been torn apart. And let's talk SMU. When the ACC goes down, they're going to need to figure something out. Do they want to go back to the American for $7 million a year? I don't think so. Why not go to this new Pac-12? And if there's getting somewhere, somewhere in between 14 and 15 million with Stanford and Cal, why not follow Stanford and Cal to the new Pac-12? The travel, in some ways it's a little bit easier. In some ways, Vegas isn't that far from you. Air Force in Colorado State, it's not bad. Not bad travel there at all. California's California. It's West Coast. So what? You're in the ACC right now. You're about to be just doing nothing but going to the East Coast or to the extreme West Coast to play Stanford and Cal anyway. And if you're talking about just money, I'm going to this new pack. It's going to make more money than the American. It definitely way more money than the Mountain West. So if I'm SMU, that's where I'm going, and that gives the Pac-12 a little bit more cachet because now you're in the DFW market. I don't think market matters that much anymore, but when you're talking about getting a media rights deal for this new pack, that kind of market doesn't hurt. I don't think it helps a crap ton, but it sure doesn't hurt. What does help is SMU will come in as a Power 4 team. They would have spent several years in the ACC while it still existed, and they'll be a freaking Power 4 team coming in. So Stanford, Cal, SMU coming in at the same time. Yes, you should be able to get that contract somewhere in the neighborhood of $15 million a year per school. That leaves you a little wonky. This isn't the Pac-11, but we're only talking 11 schools. You need another school. And to me, you have 4 choices to make. UTSA, you have Texas State, UNT, and Rice. Now, UNT, I like the Mean Green. They're in Denton. Denton is the DFW area. They're not going to double dip in the same town. This isn't USC and UCLA. It's not on that level. So no, that's not going to happen. Texas State, I like Texas State. They're in San Marcos, which it's a nice place in between Austin and San Antonio. But if you're going to be in the area, I think I'd rather have UTSA. They're in San Antonio. However, SMU won't care. SMU will just love having another Texas team. And you will need a second Texas team in this. It's the only additional add that makes sense. Utah State doesn't make sense. All right, you're going to go add New Mexico. You're going to go add Wyoming back in there. You're going to go, see if Hawaii's interested. I don't think so. So who are you going to get? It'll be Rice. Because Stanford and Cal will look at Rice and say, wow, there's an academic brand that's right around on our level. Huge level. Plus in Houston. Makes all the sense in the world to bring them in for this. And like I said, if Stanford and Cal are coming in, they're going to have big, big votes in this new thing. Along with Oregon State and Washington State. And it will make all the sense in the world to go after, have a team in the Houston market. So you got DFW, you got Houston. Those are the 2 biggest markets in Texas, 1A. San Antonio, Austin. They're great markets. They're in the Texas Triangle, but they're not Houston. They're not that big. They're not DFW. Nothing wrong with having a Dallas-Houston rivalry. We're already rivals anyway. That makes a ton of sense. If I'm taking a big old swing, I'm taking a big old guess here, this will be the new Pac-12. Maybe I'm off. Maybe it's Utah. Maybe Air Force doesn't want to leave, doesn't care, and so maybe they grab Utah State. Maybe they keep Wyoming. I don't know. But this makes some sense. Maybe they go get North Dakota State. I don't know. Now, the last question is does that group of schools, can they get their autonomous status back? You would have Oregon State, Washington State, Stanford, Cal, and SMU. 5 of the schools are former power schools or current power schools. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. The NCAA might just do it. Or maybe Seiki Batiti call him, don't you freaking do it. I don't know. I don't know. I know as far as all the group of 5, group of 6, whatever the hell it's going to end up being, they'll be the most powerful out of that group by far. By far. But maybe autonomous status gets reinstituted from the NCAA. I can see it happening with that group. Now, I mean, what's the percentage on it? I mean, it's probably maybe a 35% chance they do get autonomous. But right now, it's 0% chance. It just is. You know, if the Oregon State and Washington State just join the Mountain West, 0% chance that sucker ever gets autonomous status back. But if you could rebuild the pack like that with those brands, those schools, and it works out that you can get Cal and Stanford back in the fold with SMU and let's say Rice, folks, there's a chance. It may be a small chance, maybe a slim chance, but there's a chance of getting that autonomous status back. Now, are they going to make SEC money? No. Are they going to make Big 12 money? No. No. They'll be on another tier down from that. Above the G5 tier, but, you know, definitely on the lower end of things. Who knows? Maybe one day it becomes and looked at as a power conference. Maybe on a different tier, but definitely something to be taken seriously. And like I said, can they get $15 million a year with those 12 schools? I think they could. Son of a bitch, I think they could get 15. About half of what the Big 12 gets. I think it's worth half of what the Big 12 gets. Yeah. I think it's worth that. It's worth more than the American. It's worth more than the current Mountain West. Yeah. Absolutely. So, all the luck to them. And I think they're going to be able to pull this shit off. I'm kind of excited for it. I never really liked the old Pac-12 much. And if you watch this channel for the last year and a half, you know that. The last 2 years, really. But this new Pac, you know, spearheaded by Oregon State and Washington State, with SMU, even though I'm a TCU fan and SMU can kiss my ass, you know, that adds a little intrigue in there. You know, Colorado State, they're not chumps. San Diego State, that's a good basketball brand, and they play a good brand of football. Fresno State has won that conference. Boise State, holy crap, Boise State. So yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that all day long. Like I said, best of luck to those guys, man. And right now, I'm not saying I hope it works out. No, I think it actually will work out. And good job. Good job, Pac-2. Son of a bitch, whoever could have thought they could pull some of this crap off that they pulled off. But they did it. And I think they're going to do it in the future. Anyway, that's all I got on this crap. I'll be back with some more crap later. Bye.